Hello friends, is Botany next episode, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. This episode deals with pollination. Exam point of view, both the theory as well as NEET exam, it is important. So we can proceed to pollination. If you like previous episodes, subscribe it, share it, comment on it, and like it. Okay, thank you. We can proceed. First, I will share the screen for you, so it will be easy for you to follow. I think screen came to you, so we can proceed. So sexual reproduction in flowering plants, fourth episode, topic is pollination. NCERT 1.2.3. And we have to start with what is pollination. Pollination means transfer of pollen grains from the site of production to site of receival. Production to receival site. And it will be from anther to stigma. There are different types of classification for pollination. Various types. NCERT wise, they explains about based on source of pollen, from where the pollen grains plants are getting. And basically it is divided into three types based on source of pollen. One is autogamy, other is geitonogamy, and third one is synogamy. Auto, that word itself indicates self. So autogamy means within same plant, within same flower. That is autogamy, otherwise called self-pollination. Second is geitono. Geitono means neighbors. So geitonogamy means between different flowers of same plant. Plant is same, but between different flowers. So equivalent to self-pollination. And third is synogamy. XENO. Xeno normally means outside, foreign, etc. So between different flowers of the different plants of the same species. That is synogamy, which is otherwise called allogamy or cross-pollination. So out of these three, autogamy, geitonogamy, and synogamy, one will be a theory question, one will be usually an entrance question. I think that part is clear. Now, in the beginning, I explained certain terms, which include terms like chasmogamous and cleistogamous in the first episode of this chapter. Chasmogamous means a flower which is always open. Cleistogamous means a flower which is always closed. But remember, there are certain plants which contains upper side chasmogamous flower and lower side cleistogamous flowers. And typical example for it, NCERT is specifically given, that is a popular question. Viola, which is otherwise called common pansy. Second is oxalis. Third is commelina. So chasmogamous and cleistogamous flowers within same plant. I think first page is clear to you, including both the diagrams. Now we can proceed to next page. Agents of pollination. So there should be some pollinating agents, and nature provided various agents for pollination. There also classifications are available, but basically it can be divided into two, namely abiotic and biotic. Abiotic or abiotic means non-living, which include wind and water. Biotic means having life, so which mainly includes animals. First, we have to proceed with the wind pollination. Wind pollination has got a synonym. It is called anemophily, A-N-E, anemophily. And this wind pollination coming under abiotic agents, but this pollination is less in nature, wind pollination. But it is common among abiotic factors. So wind pollination is less in nature, but common among abiotic factors. And for anemophily, the flowers should have some adaptations. What are the adaptations for anemophilous flowers? Flowers will be grouped into inflorescence. Second, nectar not at all needed because organisms are not involved for pollination. Stamens should be well exposed so wind can easily spread it. And they got versatile anthers. Versatile anthers means, see, this will be upper part, this will be the filament. So when wind blows, anthers can move in both the direction, this way and this way. So both direction it can move. So such anthers are called versatile anthers. Pollen grain should be light, then only it can float in air, non-sticky. Female side flowers with a feathery stigma so that can easily trap the pollen grains moving through air. And there will be a single ovule in each ovary. That is a normal question. Single ovule in each ovary. Diagrams I shown. And an NCERT diagram also given there. And examples for wind pollinated flowers. Wheat, maize, gymnosperm, it is a common phenomenon. Coconut palm, etc. Gymnosperm will be remembering sulfur shower, yellow shower. Pinus pollen grain moves like a yellow cloud. So I think this page also clear. Now we can proceed to third one. Next is water pollination, which is otherwise called hydrophyly. Here water will be the pollinating agent. And this is the least pollination among abiotic factors. Least among abiotic factors. And which is comparatively less in use. It is commonly seen in monocots, about 30 genera, 30. NCERT is specifically given it. And what are the features of water pollinated flowers or hydrophilous flowers? See, that item is concerned with water. So pollen grain should not be wet. So that unwettable condition should be maintained. So pollen grains will be unwettable. Pollen grains should be light, otherwise it will go down into water. And there will be a protection of mucilage. Female side, stigma will be long, sticky, and again unwettable. That are the features of water pollinated flowers. And they will be giving an odd one question connecting hydrophily and anemophile. Now, hydrophily can be classified into two. Epihydrophily, hypohydrophily. Epi means above, hypo means below. In epihydrophily, what happens is pollination takes place on the surface of water because stigmatic lobes will be coming on the surface of water. Male flowers having pollen grains will be floating on the surface of water. Pollination, fertilization will be affected. Then female flower will coil down. Surface of water, it takes place. Epihydrophily, typical example is Vallisneria, which is a monocot, which is dioecious. Now, hypohydrophily. Hypo means below. Below the surface of water, pollination takes place. It is commonly seen in marine grasses, as in the case of Zostera marina. Both the diagrams I shown there of that male flower of Vallisneria. That is itself is a question, direct photo type question. I think this page also clear. Now we have to proceed to next page, where there is an exception, not an exception, but we may think like that. Water lily, water hyacinth, both seen in water. But remember, the pollination is not by water, but by insects or wind. So water lily, water hyacinth, pollination is not by water, but by insects or wind. NCERT is specifically given, it is a misleading question. Page number 13, that item I shown there. Next, Zostera, how the pollination takes place. Zostera, submerged female flowers. There will be long ribbon-like pollen grains that will coil around female part and pollination is affected. So it takes place below or underwater. So it is hypohydrophily. Vallisneria, what happens is, I already told it still, female flowers will be reaches on the surface of water. There will be a long stalk or pedicel. Male flowers or pollen grains will be released to the surface of water. Male flowers or pollen grains reaches into female stigmatic surface. Pollination, fertilization will be affected on the surface of water and will be coiling down. So pollination will be on the surface of water. In hydrophyly, anemophyly, flowers are not at all showy because no organisms other than plants, no life will be involved. So it is not colorful, no nectar, no reward for pollinators because water as well as wind is doing it. They have no life. When deficiency is huge amount of pollinants has to be produced, then only there is a chance to meet the female site. So wastage of pollen grains will be there. That is regarding abiotic factors. Now we have to proceed to biotic agents or biotic factors. Most of the flowering plants, they will be utilizing animals as pollinating agents. And what are or which are these famous organisms? Most common, most needy, most famous is bees. Then moths, ants, wasps, birds, bats, all can be pollinators, even mammals, reptiles. Everything can be pollinators. And remember, there is a specific association between pollinators and flowers or specific plant that is obligative. Typical example is yucca plant and Tageticula insect. Yucca plant and Tageticula insect. Life cycle will be correlated between these two. Now, what are the features of insect pollinated flowers? Flowers will be showy because then only insect will be attracted, large. Suppose flowers are small, they aggregate to form inflorescence. Fragrance will be there to give the rewards to the insect who helps in pollination. Nectar will be there. Pollen grains will be there. They will be sticky. Good or bad or foul smell will be also there. Accordingly, respective insects will be attracted. And they even provide a safe place to lay eggs. Tallest flower of Amorphophallus. That is, Amorphophallus flower is 6 feet in height. Such a statement we can find in NCERT page number 14. Life cycle between pollinators and plants, they are correlated. There is a obligative connection. But remember, there are certain insects. They will come and take the honey or nectar, but they will not help in pollination. So such organisms are called pollen or nectar robbers. They will not do pollination. They are cheating originally. They will take the nectar or honey. Pollen robbers or nectar robbers. I think that also clear that page. Now, different types of pollinating agents and their name. This is a usual question for theory. Fill in the blank, match the following. So everything given there: hydrophyly, anemophily, ornithophily, chiropterophily, malacophily, ophiophily, entomophily. Which organism is involved? Right side I given there is a match the following. Next, there are two types of pollination, that is cross-pollination and self-pollination. So nature provided certain features for helping cross-pollination and helping self-pollination. That was an important question for theory entrance. Cross-pollination is favored by unisexuality, single sex, otherwise called declining. Dichogamy, maturation of sex organ at two different times. Sometimes androecium mature first, protrandrous. Sometimes gynoecium mature first, protogynous. So no fusion of gametes, different maturing type, dichogamy. Hercogamy means physical barrier between androecium and gynoecium. So pollen grains will not get a chance to meet, same page still. Now, self-incompatibility. Incompatibility means not suitable or not matching. These all will favor cross-pollination, counter, self-pollination, bisexuality or monocliny. Homogamy means maturation of sex organ at the same time, but pollination, compatibility, suitable male and female gametes. Next, pollen-pistil interaction. That is a famous question. It is originally a chemical dialogue. And remember, pollen tube growth is chemotrophic and it is apical. Pollen tube growth is chemotrophic and apical. After that, I given some question 5 plus 5 with a key. Then you can find last item, that is in vitro pollen germination. That is our last item. In vitro means artificial or on glass. So what the idea here is, pollens from different plants. A list is given in NCERT like pea, chickpea, crotalaria, balsam, vinca. That will be taken separately on separate glasses. Then on that glass surface or on the medium for these pollen grains, all necessary needy nutrients will be provided and pollen grains will start to germinate within half an hour. What are the ingredients in the nutrients? Mainly contains 10% sugar solution, that is for getting carbon. Chemicals like magnesium, potassium, calcium, salt. Among this, boric acid also will be there. These are the main ingredients in that mixture for the pollen grains to germinate. Normally within 30 minutes, half an hour, pollen grains will start to germinate through pollen tube. And initially when we look onto the bottom surface, we can find the pollen tube will be emerging. So all the pollen grains will be emerging. So it will be just like water drops after rain hanging from a surface. So it has got a name, hanging drop mechanism. I think that idea clear. In vitro pollen germination, sometimes or even theory practical, they can put it. Very easy idea. Next is pollen viability test. Originally, this is not in NCERT, but a few NEET exam, they asked it. That is why. Details not needed. Pollen viability test is called TTC. TTC test, otherwise called triphenyl tetrasodium chloride dye test, TTC. Now, the last item for us is artificial hybridization. What is meant by artificial? Artificial means man-made. And for what this hybridization? For the improvement of crops. And this artificial hybridization connected with the plant breeding, it is a multi-step procedure. First, we have to select the best parents or needy parents. If it is a bisexual parent, means a flower with a bisexuality or a parent with bisexuality, male reproductive structures has to remove, and it is called emasculation. So specifically, this emasculation is a theory question for 1 mark. Emasculation, removal of anthers from a bisexual female parent. So removal of anthers from a bisexual female parent. For what? To prevent contamination of undesirable pollen. So after removing that male part, that structure should be bagged, covered with a bag. Bag in the sense there are specific bags for it. It is for preventing contamination of foreign pollen. Then next step, the pollen what we need will be collected and will be suitably dusted on the stigmatic surface. Again, it will be bagged. That procedure is called rebagging. And why this rebagging is done? Again, to prevent attack of any foreign pollen. So these are the 3, 4, or 5 steps. Theory-wise question can be there, or arranging this in a ascending descending order for NEET exam, etc. So selection of best parents, emasculation, bagging, then putting desirable pollen grains, rebagging. These are the steps involved in hybridization, artificial hybridization. Suppose female parent is having only female flowers, no male structure, then no need to do emasculation. So emasculation mainly needed in bisexual female parent, and it is to remove the anther. So desirable pollen, we can deposit on the same stigma of that bisexual flower, etc. I think it is clear. Now we can proceed to an overall lookup, then we can come back. So from here we start pollination, definition, 3 types. Then with a 2 diagram, chasmogamous, cleistogamous. Then agents, abiotic, biotic, among abiotic, wind and water, biotic, living organism. Then wind pollination, anemophily, features, then versatile anthers, etc. With examples. Then water pollinated flowers, hydrophily. Hydrophily, less, only 30 genera, male in monocots, features of water pollinated flowers, presence of mucilage, unwettable nature. Then 2 typical types, epihydrophily, hypohydrophily, Vallisneria, what happens, and Zostera, what happens. Then we entered into water hyacinth as well as water lily, insects or wind will be pollinating. After that, we entered into biotic agents, main is bees. And what are the features to attract bees or insects? And there are certain obligatory associations, as in the case of Tageticula and Yucca. Then Amorphophallus, 6 feet height, that flower, NCERT explanation. Then different types of pollination, match the following, popular question. Then cross-pollination, self-pollination comparison. Then which all features will favor cross and which all features will favor self. Then pollen-pistil interaction, compatibility and incompatibility. Pollen-pistil interaction is a chemical dialogue. Pollen to growth is chemotrophic and apical. Then we observe certain question, 5+5. Then in vitro pollen germination, what do you have to do? Providing glass sides with nutrients. What are the ingredients in the nutrients? Then within 30 minutes, all pollen grains will be normally germinate, just like a water drop hanging after rain. So hanging drop mechanism and pollen viability test, triphenyl tetrasodium chloride test. Then artificial hybridization steps involved, selection of best parents, emasculation, then bagging, dusting of suitable pollen, rebagging. And these are the ideas we discussed. Topic is pollination. So we can meet in next episode with the continuation of this chapter. If you like it, subscribe or share it, comment on it, and like it. So we can meet later. Thank you.